You can believe whatever you want, that it was grief, that it was guilt. But the truth is simple. That house never wanted me there. Not because of who I am, but because of who she was. It was a cloudy day. The kind that feels heavier than it should. We arrived with boxes, plants, and a quiet excitement that didn't match the grey sky. The house was already waiting for us. Big, old, still. The kind of stillness that doesn't come from silence, but from something unspoken. Hator smiled as he unlocked the door, said it was time to start over. I didn't say anything, but deep down, something felt off. Like we weren't alone, like someone was watching. And not because they were curious, but because they used to be here. One of the rooms stayed locked. Hator said it was being used for storage, that it belonged to his ex. She left some things behind. I'll clean it out later, he told me. But he never did. The door remained closed, and every time I walked by, I felt something. A pressure in the chest. Not fear exactly. More like sorrow, like grief had a scent, and it came from under that door. At night, I heard things. Footsteps, soft knocks. And once, I could swear I heard crying. I asked Hator. He just said, "You're imagining things." But he never looked me in the eye when he said it. Her name was everywhere. On documents, on old keys, on the medicine label still in the bathroom drawer. Isabel. I didn't ask much, but once, just once, I made the mistake of saying her name out loud. Was Isabel okay with moving here? Hator turned to me slowly. His smile faded, and he answered with something that wasn't really an answer. Isabel had her reasons for staying. That night, I couldn't sleep. The lights flickered in the hallway, and I had the strange feeling that I had said something I wasn't meant to. Like I had woken something up. Something that didn't want to be remembered. It happened one afternoon. I was cleaning the hallway when I heard a click. The kind of sound a door makes when it's been locked for a long time. I turned, and the door was open. Hator was at work. I stood there, frozen. Something inside me said, "Don't go in." But I did. The room smelled like time. Not dust, not mold. Time. A dress still hung on the back of the door. A pair of shoes by the bed. The window slightly open, as if she had just stepped out for a moment. There was a photo on the nightstand, Hator and her. Smiling, young, but behind the smiles, I saw something else. I looked at her eyes, and it hit me. She wasn't happy. She wasn't just gone. She had been silenced. Days later, something strange happened. I dropped my earring near the bedroom dresser. When I bent down to grab it, my hand brushed against the floorboard, and I felt it shift. A loose plank. I hesitated, then lifted it. Beneath the wood, wrapped in old cloth, was a folded piece of paper. Just one sentence, written in shaky handwriting. If someone opens that door, ask for forgiveness. For me. I stood there, holding it. My chest tight, my hands cold. It wasn't just a note. It was a message, a cry, a confession. And I had no idea what she wanted to be forgiven for. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the note, about that sentence. Ask for forgiveness for me. Around 3 a.m, I got up and went to the bathroom. The mirror was fogged, but I hadn't used any hot water. I wiped it with my hand, and as the glass cleared, I saw it. A name, Isabel, written in the fog, slowly fading. I froze, then whispered, "What do you want?" But there was no answer, only silence. The kind of silence that listens back. After that night, everything changed. The house got colder. Not like winter, like absence. Like something had been shaken awake and didn't want to sleep again. I started hearing footsteps on the stairs. Slow, careful. As if someone was walking barefoot, not to be heard. But I heard. One night, I stood at the top of the stairs, the hallway behind me, the living room below. I was holding a glass of water, and I felt it, a presence. I turned my head, slowly, and saw the shadow, at the bottom of the stairs, still, watching, not threatening, just waiting. I opened my mouth to say something, anything, but the light above me flickered, and when it came back, she was gone. I started having dreams, always the same. A woman standing at the bedroom door. Long hair, pale, she never said a word. Just looked at me, eyes full of something I couldn't name. Sadness? Fear? Or was it a warning? I asked Haitor again about her. I didn't mention the dreams, just asked, "What happened to Isabel?" He sighed, rubbed his hands together, then said she had problems, emotional ones. She wasn't well. I stared at him, waiting for more, but he got up and left the room. That night, I woke up gasping for air. My chest felt heavy. The air in the room, dense. I turned to the corner and saw her. She wasn't angry, just broken. And I understood. There were things she couldn't say while alive, so she was saying them now. I went back into the locked room. I needed answers. The mirror was cracked now. The photo on the nightstand had fallen, but the dress was still hanging there. I opened the drawers, and in the back of one, hidden beneath a layer of scarves, there it was. A letter, yellowed by time, but recent enough to still hold weight. Her handwriting, no doubt. It wasn't long, just a few sentences. If someone finds this, please ask for forgiveness, not for what I did, but for what I didn't do. I knew what he was capable of, and still I stayed. I read it again and again. She hadn't betrayed him. She hadn't run. She had suffered, silently, until silence was all she had left. After I read the letter, I left the room and closed the door, but it didn't feel like a door anymore. It felt like a grave. I didn't tell Aitor. I couldn't. I watched him differently after that. The way he walked through the house. The way he looked at me when he thought I wasn't watching. There was something in his silence too. A weight. A history. I tried to move on. To fill the house with noise. Music. Laughter. But nothing stayed. The lights kept flickering. The stairs still creaked at night. And sometimes I still feel her. Not angry, just watching. Like she's making sure I don't become what she once was. Some women leave, others stay. Even after they die. And sometimes the walls remember what no one dares to say. So if you ever move into a house that feels too quiet, listen carefully. You might not be alone. Not really.